down, ready to do a, oh, we're on air now. Hey guys, Daryl Shergan, Quest for Vape. I was sitting down ready to do a video, and my buddy Ryan calls me. He had some good news. We were chatting. I'm like, hey, wait a second, because it was nagging me. I was about to get off the phone because I had to, I got a video all prepared over here. Look at this. I got like all my stuff. So I said, wait, I got a good idea. Let's collaborate a little. Ryan, what are you doing right now? He's at the vape shop. He's working. So you open for a phone call? Want to do a live Google Hangout? And I'll do this. I'm going to do this live style, okay? This is going to be a video on the big box mod, unregulated box mod review. Not review, but comparison, okay? You like that topic, Ryan? I told you it was going to be fun.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
But first, I want to mention something. Following up with the sponsoring of Smoker, Mark the pizza shop guy, came in today, and Ryan further helped him. By the way, he's had. Why don't you tell everybody what happened with Mark, but briefly, concisely.
Well, Mark came in to get some more juice and some coils, and I happened to come in for my shift to work, and he's here, and we were talking a little bit, and he was mentioning something about mods. He asked me how much a mod was that was in the case, and I said, well, how about I do this? And I gave him a Foley copper overdose. And then the other employee here, Dave, handed him a Doge V3, Doge V2, that's Tiffany blue, and handed him that. So I threw a build in it, cottoned it up for him, gave him some cotton, started using it, and he loves it. So he went from a Kanger K-Box mini setup, the black setup, to a mechanical in about a week and a half.
That's awesome. Loving it. That is awesome. That is awesome. And what did you say? If he's working, if the work day he has like 1 or 2 cigarettes maybe, and then if it's not a work day he doesn't have any?
Yeah, he was telling me that on a work day he's somewhere in between 2 and 3 cigarettes a day, 1 in the morning, maybe after he eats, and then at nighttime before he goes to bed. But he said on the day off that he does have on a Wednesday, he said, especially for today, he said that he hadn't smoked any cigarettes at all. He woke up and went right to the vape, and he hadn't smoked a cigarette all day.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm gonna hijack this. I'm gonna hijack the screen for a couple minutes here. All right, no more on unregulated. I was gonna show you guys the Goblin Mini. I rebuilt it. It took me about 3 attempts, but I've got it cranking pretty good now, 50 watts.
Nice.
It's a great RBA. It's chucking. I got it up to 70 watts yesterday, and then it started to dry hit toward the end of about a 5-second pull. But.
And what mod do you have that on?
That is the Dovepo Executive 5.0 with temperature control, but I just have it at 50 watts in wattage mode, and it's a nice little cutie stealth. Nice. This is my new stealth vape. I used to use the iStick 30 watt with the Kanger sub tank. Now it's been trumped by this, and it does use an 18650 battery, so I've got a nice 25 amp battery in there. Okay, but on to the topic of discussion. So, regulated mods, unregulated mech mods, and then unregulated box mods. This is the topic of discussion for today. I got my first unregulated box mod back in January. That was this. This is Smokestack Mods, and I didn't even know what I was doing. I put a clapped-in 0.2 ohm build in this thing, and I nearly, like, not blow, but I got a fireball hit that taught me a lesson. Build right for the box mod. Build right for the mod. So the questions come up a lot, and I didn't find much back in January. There's a lot since then, but I didn't find much explaining to me what's the difference between parallel and series. And I want to mention that right now. Parallel and series, the difference is in parallel, your 2 batteries, it's just gonna draw half of the charge from one and half of the charge from the other. And so it's gonna still deliver the same amount of power that one battery would have delivered. It's just gonna split it between the 2. And that's parallel. In a series box, it's going to add both batteries' power together. It's like 2 rivers coming into a big river. So whereas a parallel box with 2 18650s is going to deliver 4.2 volts of power, this is going to deliver 8.4 volts of power. So you want to build higher resistance, more metal, more wraps on the series than you do on the unregulated parallel. That's number one. Number two, if you have a parallel box, you can take one or two, or you can take one of the batteries out, it'll still fire. On a parallel box, you want to be very careful and track your batteries, how long you've been using them, because it'll keep hitting, drawing power. Because it's drawing power equally off two, you can drain batteries very low on a parallel box if you're not paying careful attention, and you won't necessarily see the drop-off in power that you would in a single 18650 mech mod or in a series mod. Like I could tell on this thing, and it does have a voltage meter also, but I could tell from the way it's hitting when it starts getting a little bit weaker that my batteries are draining out and I need to change them out. On the parallel box, it won't necessarily give you that indication. So you've got to personally be aware of when those batteries are draining too low. And I have on this my box, the Kung Fu box, I've actually drained a set of batteries too low, down to like 2.5 without even noticing any voltage drop, and then those batteries were done. Once they go below 3, they're not safe to use. These batteries, I even stuck them on a charger. They weren't taking the charge. That's dangerous. At that point, they're done. Recycle them. Anything to add to that, Ryan? Because you're an experienced guy in vaping, and I know you do unregulated.
I do find that some boxes that they're coming out with now that are in series, and with the problem that you're explaining there, that they will drain all the way down to a dangerous point to where your batteries are shot. The new Hexom V2 ones, they have what I believe it's a protection in there, because my batteries will not go below 3.4 at all. I cannot get them lower than a 3.4, and as soon as they hit that 3.4, they instantly die. I could turn it up a little bit, and I get probably 1 or 2 more puffs out of it, and then they completely die. And every time I throw them on there, they're at 3.1, 3.4.
Well, the Hexom.
So some boxes out there are.
The Hexom has a Raptor chip.
Starting to give that protection.
The Hexom is regulated, right? Or are you talking about the V1, the unregulated? That was it always had some protection and some regulation, right? Are you hearing me? No? Ryan? Ryan cuts in and out sometimes. He's in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, and if somebody turned the lights on across the city, then his Wi-Fi doesn't get power. All right, anyway, back
there
to... Oh, there you are. You're back. I believe the Hexom is regulated and has a Raptor chip.
They have the OKL T20 chips in them.
Okay, and so that's giving it some protection where it has low voltage protection where it'll stop hitting. That's nice. That's why you go with regulated devices. This video is not for people who know what if you know what you're doing, great, enjoy the video. Thank you for watching. But this is for people who are specifically Googling or specifically on YouTube saying, what's up? I see these guys have these unregulated big box mods. They look powerful. I want to chuck clouds. What's that all about? And you shouldn't feel like Evel Knievel getting one of these. You shouldn't feel like you're some kind of daredevil. They're perfectly fine to vape with. They're excellent to vape with. But I wanted to talk about the nitty-gritty of what's up with that. Not how to build them, not the technical side of chips and Raptors and okay, because there's guys out there, you can watch videos and learn how to buy kits and build these yourself. I want to show you guys something. This one has a built-in voltage meter, and it's showing that these batteries are actually pretty low. It's showing me 6.14 combined, but one battery wouldn't give me 6 volts. 2 batteries combined, you divide it in half, and it's a little over 3 each. So I probably should put fresh batteries. I didn't realize these were drained. But that's a nice thing. So if you're getting an unregulated box mod, spend a little extra for whoever you're getting it from, and get one with an included a voltmeter to show you where the battery charge is. But then you can get them without that. Just be aware and track how your device is hitting throughout your battery usage. And I'm sorry for talking fast. I'm trying to cover a lot of ground because I have a few different boxes I want to show you. And I'm putting a new set of rewrapped. Oh no, these are X-Star batteries. Okay, so this is 25 amp high drain X-Star batteries. They're okay. They give me a nice hard hit for about the first 5 or 6 hits, and then they kind of drop off pretty quickly after that. They're by no means a Sony VTC4. But they're good. All right, so that's a series wired unregulated box. I want to show you. You can't see the Mosfet. This is the wiring inside, but down in here, there's something called a Mosfet. At the very bottom, it's wrapped. It's right in here. It looks like a three-prong tuning fork is what it looks like. And what that does, it's sort of a fuse. It takes the pulse width of the current off the batteries, and it kind of cleans it up and scrubs it through this thing, and then it puts it to the 510 connection. And then if the amp draw is too high or the heat, the temperature is too high, that'll pop like a fuse. So that's a little bit of built-in protection. Anything to add to that, Ryan?
No. Yeah,
No?
well, the MOSFETs sometimes they won't be in that exact spot, but the box does have a MOSFET. And usually it is 99.9% of the time it's wrapped just for your safety so that when it does pop, it doesn't create any other damage. And some companies will warranty it that if it does happen, that you could send it back to them and they'll put a new MOSFET in it and get it rolling for you.
Yeah, so somebody has to solder that back in and get it in that spot. And but if you have a choice of MOSFET versus no MOSFET, get one with a MOSFET. Because it does offer you some level of protection in case of some type
Saves your batteries.
There you go.
Save your batteries.
All right, this one here is a series, a parallel box. It's got 3 batteries. It does not have a voltmeter, so you can see the MOSFET better in this one. It's that octopus-looking thing up in this corner, all right? And it's taking the feed off of all 3 of those batteries, going through it, and then it connects up to this 510 connection here. So it's a pretty simply clean wired one. This is taking the demand, the power demand that's going to the RDA. It's splitting it between 3 batteries. So it's a third and a third and a third. So it's not going to hit as hard as this, but it's going to add my milliamp hours and last longer. And this one is by Powerhouse Mods out of Florida.
I've actually had people tell me that when you put 3 batteries into a mod parallel, it triples everything. And it's
not parallel, because if that were the case, why could I do this? And it's still fired. Why could I do this? And it's still fired. But think about Christmas lights. When you're stringing Christmas lights and you get them, and then the kind of lights that if one bulb goes out, the whole chain goes out, that's a series because it has to go from one to the next to the next to the next. In parallel, if one bulb on the Christmas tree light chain goes out, only that one doesn't work, and the rest of them do work because there's more wires. It will actually, the electricity will flow around. But it's also dividing the load. It's drawing equally, ideally. Now, what I noticed on this is the middle battery, these 2 will be at like 3.5 when I put them on the charger, and this one will be at 3.7. So the middle spot here, these 2 outer ones are being drawn a little bit more battery drain than the middle one. So what I do is, after a while I've been hitting on it, I'll rotate them. I'll take this one out, and I'll move this one over, put it in that spot. Hard to do this inverted on camera, and then I'll put this one in that spot, and I'll put this one over there so that they can each take a turn in the hot seat. Also, with parallel, all 3 batteries are pointing the same direction, and with series, they one points up, one points down. But you always got to follow that's just the way they do their skids. I mean, I guess they could do it any way they want, but they typically will do it all positives facing up, all negatives down in a series. All right, so that's smoke. Okay, I paid about $75 for this at the show. That show price is don't expect it to be like that. If you paid retail in shop, you pay about $100 to $125 for something like this, maybe more. Quality work. I get this back in January for $100 from Jeff Ketterman, Smokestack Mods. Shout out to him. You guys can see it's one of my oldest videos. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I have the wrong build on there. I'm like, I can't handle. I'm taking half-second hits. I learned how to build for it. This is a bigger build. Thicker what? Well, you know, I should even have gone thinner gauge and like higher number gauge, thinner wire, and done more wraps. It typically likes to be at about 0.5 ohms or higher. 0.8 I find is a sweet spot. All right, moving on. So we have the Kung Fu box. They all hit nicely. You just have to know. On the parallel, you can go down as low ohms as you want. It's actually safer to vape in parallel with 2 batteries or 3 batteries on low sub-ohm than it is on a single 18650 mech mod, because you're dividing the load. So if, let's say, the amp draw is 90 amps, which it could be on if you build very low, it'll be 30 amps off of each of these batteries in parallel, which these batteries can handle. No, these can't. These are 25 amps. Get the idea. Let's say I'm at a 75 amp draw. That'd be a lot, way too much for one battery in this, but it'd be perfectly fine to take 25 amps, 25 amps, 25 amps. Is the point of the math there. All right, this one is, I recently got this. This is 160 bucks. This is a triple 26650 parallel box. Yeah, it's a bad mamma jamma.
That is a ridiculous box.
I can bake some pretty low sub-ohm on this. I would not want to do triple 26650s in series. That would be adding 4.2 plus 4.2 plus 4.2. That would be 12.6. That would be way too much. Well, maybe on a 1.5 ohm, 2 ohm coil build, maybe that would be okay. But I want to give you guys the idea of the range of different devices, parallel versus series. It's not just to show off like all this stuff. Yes, I'm a collector, but that gives you a good idea of the differences between parallel and series. And this one is a cutie. This is the Muri Kita. It's, look at that, silver-plated contact springs. Those contacts inside are silver-plated, and it's just right to the 510 connection, which is also.
I've been wanting one of them.
This is a real sweetheart. I'm going to do something now. Recently, a friend of mine, and I'm going to be talking with him tomorrow about the Efest batteries that vented on them. I've been using two sets of the same exact batteries. These are the 2800 milliamp hour Efest 35 amp. Now I've been using these since early June at the Miami Expo. I got these, and then I got another set last week. Many charging cycles. I haven't had a problem with them, but he had 2 vent on him, which is concerning. And I want to say another thing. Efest was talking with him, and I asked him, hey, listen, I was about to do a whole video with your charger, with your batteries. I have Imren batteries over here. I was going to do a whole comparison of Efest, Imren. I've got Samsungs. I've got Sonys, and I was going to do a comparison of them. And now I'm like, I don't want to come across like what's going on over here with all this drama. So but they're responsive. They want everybody to know they have a quality control protocol that it may not be fair to say the whole entire company is just you drop it and you walk away. I don't think that's the case. And I don't know what happened about those 2 batteries. And I know one thing. Danny is a very credible, reliable source of information, and he's not a shock jockey type of guy. And if that happened to him, it happened to him. So we all want to know what happened with the Efest battery situation, and we're going to find out. We're going to find out. We're going to get to the bottom of it. They're checking the batch. They want the actual batteries back to study them, and they're checking to see what quality control with that batch of batteries. But I haven't had a problem. This is the same 35 amp. No, I haven't had a problem with it. And I'm hitting on them in an unregulated. This is an unregulated parallel box.
These batteries are pretty badass.
Sub-ohm cells are great. I drain, get some nice charge life out of them. Yeah, I love those. Hard-hitting little. Now this has no safety regulations. This does
Where'd
not
you
even
pick
have,
that up at?
I got this from Apothecary distribution at the Jersey Expo. They were in the same area where Infamous E-Liquids is. Apothecary distributes a couple of very large juice lines. Infamous is one of them. Telios is another one. They're international, magnificently nice people. And, and they had 333 of these made. Now, I saw Amy Vapes, the cute redhead from Texas, on Instagram and on Facebook. I saw she had this, and then I went to the show and they had this. So Amber Meyer, my friend over there at Apothecary, hooked me up with this. It was not cheap. It was not cheap at all. It runs around $200, and that's show price. So if you're buying it not at a show, don't expect it to be $200. But it's a little gorgeous cutie. Came in a box. I guess I'm showing it off a little bit. Shout out to Apothecary E-Liquids. I've got the Kennedy on there, but it did come with this really cool Eve RDA, which I'm not using because look at how fucking tiny that is. Look at how tiny. It's so tiny. And then it came with this gorgeous little, like, matching top cap that I just haven't even figured out the appropriate way to build this little shorty. It's half the height of the Derringer. It's so tiny and it's got airflow in the cap. It's very unique. But I just have to play around with it some more before I really can use it effectively. I built it a few times. It was way too hot. It's got no clearance above the coil, so I think I got to build a very tiny micro coil. But as far as unregulated mics, they're a lot of fun. Know what you're doing. If you've got a series box, know if you have a series box, and if you're getting and know why you're getting a series box. Series box, you're dividing the amp draw. You're dividing the workload. It's like having a wagon with 3 horses, and they're all pulling the same load, versus having a wagon and putting one horse in front of the other, and they're both running at a full gallop at full speed, pulling that wagon as fast as possible. So series is going to deliver a lot more power. You should know this. And if you're getting a lot more power, you have to put more resistance on your build. Don't think low sub-ohm. Think high ohms. Think 0.8, 0.9, 1 ohm, more wraps, 10, 12, 15 wraps, dual coil, 24 gauge, 26 gauge, not low gauge wire, not thick wire, not low resistance wire. You don't want to put any Anarchist, NI80, Nichrome, you don't want to put any of that stuff on the series unless you know what you're doing. This is for, again, the novice who's just thinking of getting into a box mod. And I don't want to see you get those fireball hits. They're not going to kill you, but it's going to really, really give you a nasty cough and phlegm for a few days, like you have a bad cold. I don't know if you ever made that mistake. You probably figured it out faster than me and were smarter about it, Brian.
As fire hits, I've only gotten 1 fire hit, and I did not inhale it. I was just testing the coils after I just built them and put the cap on there, hit the button a couple times, and fire came out the cap.
It's not fun. It's not fun. So if it's going to happen, well, I prefer you guys know about it and not have it happen. So you can go lower sub-ohm if you have a series box. Try and get one with a Mosfet. Try and get one ideally with a voltage meter. That's the best case scenario. You want to see where your voltage is on the battery. This is telling me 3.25. So when I put these on the charger, they're probably going to read 3.8, 3.9, but there's voltage drop. And voltage drop just means metal it has to travel through to get from the battery to the 510 connection, that's resistance that lowers the actual power because it has to pass through metal like wires and insulators and stuff like that. But you can chuck clouds like crazy. You get flavor like crazy because it's a very intense vape. Look at the amount of vapor this produces. Delicious flavor. So that is some variety you have there versus a single 18650 mech. Now in comparison, which do you want to carry around in your pocket all day long, that or this? This is nice and sleek and easy. I lock it, I put it in my pocket, I'm good to go. One battery is going to last me maybe 10 minutes of vaping time or less. 3 batteries, this thing lasted me all weekend. I was vaping on this, and it's still going steady. I mean, I get 4 or 5 days out of this thing. because it adds the milliamp hours. You know, other than that, batteries. Oh, I want to show you guys something else. Let me show you something else. See this marker? I didn't do this yet, and shame on me. As soon as you get a box like this, you want to do something. You want to designate. Okay, if you're going to have a box like this, you have to invest in a set of batteries that you're only going to use in this box and no other box. And what you're going to want to do, you don't have to do this, but I highly recommend you marry the batteries and you number them so you know, because you never want to have the same battery in the same position all the time, because again, each one of these spots will drain the battery differently. So you want to mix it up and let's say this spot over here drains the most. So if this battery's here, I'm going to label it number 1. I'm going to label this one number 2. And this one's going to be labeled number 3. See how I did that? So right when I take them out and I put them on my charger, 1, 2, and 3, when I put them back in, nobody explained this to me and there weren't any videos. There probably are videos now, but I want to be having a video. I'm going to take the 3. I'm not going to put them back in 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to mix them up and I'm going to rotate them so that every time these guys go back in, the battery is sitting in a different position and I rotate them. Just like rotating the tires on your car. You do that because they don't all wear the same in that spot on the car. So now the 3 is in this spot, the 1 is in here, the 2 is in here. And when I put them on the charger, they also charge differently on the charger. So I want them in a different spot on the charger. Halfway through use of this, I may mix up in the same use, in the same drawing cycle, usage cycle on these, I may mix them up on the sleds just so that they get evenly worn out and they all get to take a turn in the hot spot. Oh, does that make sense, Ryan?
Yes.
Did I explain that okay?
Yeah.
Please add something to that to make it more intelligent. I'm not the best person at explaining this stuff.
Yeah, no, you did that fine.
All right. I'm going to put you on camera for a second while I drink some water. I'm short of breath right now from vaping and talking.
All right.
And begin.
There we go.
Oh, you weren't expecting to be in the hot seat. Sorry. What are you vaping on today over there?
I got more bad drip.
Nice.
Barley's gnarly. It's almost gone now. And I'm vaping on the Snow Wolf.
What do you got there? Twisted Messes?
Twisted Messes, same as yesterday. Alien coils in there.
Nice, nice. All right.
Very fine.
Very nice. All right, so the Snow Wolf, have you used it in temperature control yet?
Yes, sir, I have. Snow Wolf temperature control is awesome.
What's awesome about it?
What I love about it is dual coil is the best thing on it, because I know a lot of the smaller temperature mods you can't do dual coil on because it's too low to read. This one in temperature control, it reads down to a 0.04.
Wow.
So you can go pretty damn low, but I mean, really there's no need for it. What I've been really building at is a 0.1 with the nickel, and I run it about like when it's fully charged, because the thing is with the Snow Wolf, as it's dying, so does your power. So when you have it on 300 and you're at half a life on there, then it doesn't really give you a vape off of it. You kind of have to boost it up, and I put it at like probably like 500, and then as it dies more, I max out the temperature on it, and then switch my batteries out and stuff, and keep on rolling. Very
cool. All right, Snow Wolf. Who makes that? Asmodus?
Asmodus, yes.
Very cool. All right, so we talked about batteries. I do want to give a shout out to Imren. I bought a bunch of batteries from them, and they're performing fantastic right now. I've got some, these are 40 amp, 3,000 milliamp hour. Let me take one out of here. They're fine. They're hard hitting batteries. 40 amp, 3,000 milliamp hour. I don't really track my milliamp hours. I can tell you that, it feels like I get a little bit longer of a life. I'll say this, comparison between the Imrens, it's good batteries, and Imren got me Sony's. What's funny is I was ordering Imren batteries from Imren, and they got me authentic Sonys as well. They showed me how to check the authenticity. They said basically that QR code is different on every single battery. That's the same thing as a barcode. And if you get batteries and they're wrapped green and all, the QR code's the same on all of them, they're not authentic. You can also tell by their performance. These hit like a freight train. I put one of these in a single 18650 mech mod, and they hit hard. I mean, it pounds that thing, and they hit hard for the first, for a good while, and then decent battery charge life. My next favorite ones are, and I also got these from Imren. These are authentic Samsung 25Rs. Not quite as hard, but just about, really almost as hard as the Sony. Real high up there. Nice battery life on these. No problem there. I'll tell you what, I find these, they hit about just slightly less hard than the Samsungs. They do last. They hold that nice hard hit for a bit longer than the Samsungs. But if I have my choice in priority, it's Sony's, then Samsung's, then these 40 amp Imrens. They're great, and these are less costly. Maybe I'm just validating the legitimacy of Imren's a good battery company. And then I got some 35 amp 3000 milliamp hours. Those are great. I'm using these in my box mods. So I have them broken up. These all I'm using in single 18650s that I would use in competitions for my hard-hitting batteries. These I'm using in pairs in different box mods, like my Sigali, like my IPv3. It's a little overkill. The Efests are fine. I haven't had a problem with them. I'm using, these are 3100 milliamp hour Efests. The interesting thing about these is they're only a 20 amp discharge current. So I would not put these in anything that's going to be super high drain. So I put these in like my IPv3 and my Sigali 150. That's all I want to talk about. Batteries. And I do have several different sets of, this is another set of married batteries just for this. So having this mod's like having a big dog. You have to have a lot of food for it and have a lot of batteries for it. And I don't mix them up and take out this battery and use it over here in my, my mutant mod and then put it back in. No. That's it. Once I got these and I married them, they're married. They're not getting divorced and separated. They're staying with that mod and they're for use for that mod only. If I have another mod I need batteries for, I'm going to buy more batteries and use them for that. So it's a lot to keep track of when you start getting a lot of stuff, but it's important too. Don't just mix and match. Don't use like, oh, I'm going to use these two batteries in my Sigali. No, you don't do that. They got to be the same manufacturer, the same milliamp hour, the same amp rate. Just keeps two of the same exact amp batteries. Buy them at the same time and use them. So I would not do that. I'll show you what I'm doing here. Yeah, I've got two Sigalis in there, and that they shall always remain with that device forever. That's how I know they go with my Sigali 150.
I'd like to add something to that battery too.
Yes.
Also batteries and stuff. If you're looking online and stuff, like, 'cause I know a lot of people like to find things at a cheaper price, which myself and I'm sure Daryl too, you like to find stuff for a good price. Some of the batteries that you can get overseas, I mean, as far as ordering them, most of the time you won't even get them because they don't make them through customs. They don't go through customs. Customs will turn them right around and send them back. But I know that some companies they'll try to hide them and get them through for you. But what I would also mention is that I know a lot of batteries that you can get overseas and stuff that you look at the amperage and the milliamps per hour. You look at those and it's kind of, I don't want to say it's common sense, but you look at it like I have the Efest 2500s.
Yep.
And they are 35 amp. Yep. So you can do 2500 milliamps per hour on that. So say if this battery was 35 amp and it said that it's 4200 milliamps per hour, that does not work. It's not going to work no matter which way you put it into this battery, which way this battery is built, it's not going to work. So you just kind of have to look out for that stuff. If you see crazy stuff like that with high amperage and extremely high milliamps, there's no way it's going to work because that battery would have to be Yeah, exactly. It'd have to be like this, kind of like
Up on the amp draw, you're going down on the milliamp hour. You can't get both of them in that size.
Trying to pull,
unless the battery gets bigger.
Yes, and that's why you, like 2650s, you can, those big green and purple ones that Daryl has, those ones you can get those in a 35 amp and a 4200 mod, I believe, and then from there it will go, if it goes to 45 amps, it would go down with the mod, and it'd be more of like a 32 milliamps per hour. Yeah,
just because they get their pen out and they write on there, oh, it's now 5,000 milliamps, doesn't make it so. I hear you. And hey, listen, it's very easy for somebody to customize and just print out wraps. They can say whatever they want. And also the you know, when I was talking directly, by the way, Efest didn't send those to me for free. I paid for those. I paid for the charger. I paid for shipping. It wasn't cheap. It was correctly labeled. That's why I got them in 3 days. I paid good money. Why? Because I wanted them in my hands. I wanted to review them. And so I paid. I talked directly with Efest, which is nice. And they go, "What? You're a reviewer. Why? You know, what's up? Why are you buying one set of batteries?" By the way, it cost me more for the shipping and the import than for the batteries and the charger itself. Just to let you know. So you're not saving money if you think you're going to buy. No, I mean, it cost me like $40 for the batteries, maybe another $40 for the charger, and then I paid another $80 for shipping. So I'm just going to let you know. I don't have any.
That's where they get you.
Well, it cost them money. They sent them out on a Thursday. I got them on a Monday. It doesn't take 2 months to get stuff from China, by the way. If you pay for it to get there fast.
Unless you order from Fast Tech.
Well, Fast Tech has to run around and send Jimmy over to that factory and get that one and put it in a box, and then they have to send Sally over there. Oh, it's their day off, then they have to get that, put it in. When they have the whole order together, then they send it to you. You know, that's why a lot of people complain, but you also ordered 19 different things that come from different manufacturers. They're procuring it for you. And I'm not defending Fast Tech, and I'm not promoting it. I've never ordered from Fast Tech. I care less about Fast Tech. If I want something, I walk into a retail shop. If they got it, I buy it. If I have a little bit of time and patience, now if I want something that's not even in stores, not on the market yet, then I got to sweet talk, and hopefully one of the manufacturers in China will send it to me. But I'm paying for it, and I'm paying for shipping. I do that so I can talk with them also. Imren, they showed me there's a website you could go to. I'll annotate below where you can actually check the authenticity code of any battery if it has that scratch off there. And they are prey to their own countrymen cloning and knocking off their own stuff. So, all right, batteries, if it looks too good to be true, it might not be true.
Question it.
I have seen Samsungs for $5 a piece, and that's legit, and they're legit Samsung. Somebody bought 5,000 units, and they paid to have them shipped over, and then they're distributing. They may only make 50 cents or $1 a battery, but they're moving 5,000, 10,000 units a month. That's okay. That's legit. I bought them at shows for $5, $6 a piece. But if you're in a retail shop and you need batteries and you want to walk out and have them charging at your house today, you're going to spend $10, $12, $15 per battery. But if you're online and they're $2.50 a piece for authentic Sonys, you're not getting authentic Sonys on $2.53
no.
a piece.
It probably costs them to make that for that price. Maybe. Maybe.
We won't go there. But put it this way, everybody in the food chain is entitled to their small cut of the profit along the distribution. That's nothing new in business. So anyway, we got box mods out of the way. We got battery discussion out of the way. We got sponsoring the smoker out of the way.
And we got the vaping out of the way, too.
Got the vaping out of the way. Got a vape. Now I'm going to do a giveaway. If you watch this the whole way through, thank you very much for watching my stuff. Now I got a giveaway. This is, Local Vape sent me some stuff to give away. They're very nice people, very gracious. This is Malicious Liquids, nice. the juice line. This is 4 30 ml bottles for a total of 120 mils of juice. I haven't even vaped this. They sent me one set. I was going to do a review, but let me give it away. Maybe they'll send me another set for review. But I really want to get this in the hands of a lucky subscriber. You have to be subscribed. You have to comment below in this video. And next Tuesday, when I do my live coil building workshop, I'm going to pick a winner. So you got to be watching then too, hopefully. These flavor profiles are Voices, a wicked blend of sweet raspberry candy that might make you question your reality. It's reminiscent of a blue raz blow pop. Maybe sinfully sweet and creamy blackberry cheesecake. Wow. Destroy strawberry and tropical fruit medley. Oh, I've got Ryan up on the screen. Let me put me up on the screen. Not because you need to look at my face. Malicious liquids. Voices, maybe, destroy, and greed. Voices, again, was, look at these creepy labels. Ooh. All right, you got...
Those are pretty badass.
Yeah, they are badass. Blue raspberry blow pop, creamy blackberry cheesecake, strawberry and tropical fruit medley, and blueberries and horchata. Wow, juicy blueberries and horchata.
That sounds good.
Yeah, man. When I read the flavor profiles, I really wanted to start baking these, so I'm being very, very unselfish right now. I've got the juice line, 120 mils of juice, a T-shirt in size extra large. So that's okay. If you're a lady, just wear this as a nightgown. And then they also sent me Anarchist wire in a few different gauges.
Nice.
Yeah, Anarchist performance competition. This is Nichrome 80. Low resistance wire, not nickel wire, it's nichrome, so it's lower resistance, the closest it can to vape that in regular wattage mode, and some Anarchist cotton. I have built with Anarchist wire. I love Anarchist wire. I've used Anarchist cotton. It's Japanese organic cotton. So you got, here's your giveaway. Comment below. Thank you very much for, you have to subscribe and you have to comment. And you know, don't be selfish. Mention it to some friends. Share it. If you found something interesting in this video, talking about box mods, talking about big box mods, and the difference between parallel and series, and how to build for these, please like, share, subscribe, and tell people about Quest for Vape. Ryan, thank you very much. Ryan Redwood, Vape Redwood on Google+. Who are you on Facebook?
Facebook,
Redwood?
I'm just Ryan Redwood, yep.
Okay,
You
you're on
guys can follow
Instagram?
me, do whatever you want.
Okay. Are you on, you're on Instagram?
Yes, I am. On there, I believe I'm on there as Red13, Red_13.
I got to find you and follow you on
Yeah.
Instagram.
We'll get
Okay,
together.
guys, that's all I got for now. Thank you very much for watching. Instead of doing this as a regular video, I decided to do it as a live hangout, and so you get errors, bloopers, everything, and I'm not editing it, and I'm putting it up. All right, guys, Quest for Vape out. Anything else for the good of the order, Ryan?
Good luck on that giveaway you got going there.
All right, thanks a lot, brother. We'll do some giveaway. I have some more stuff coming in, some very cool and generous companies, and we'll do some giveaways on the Coil Build Workshop. All right, brother?
All righty.